Morning, Monday, July 1812. The city of Vienna, heart of the Austrian Empire, stood at a crossroads of history. Cobblestone streets wound between tall stone buildings, their windows thrown open to let in the warm breath of summer. Carriages rattled over the stones, their wheels echoing through narrow alleys. In the bustling markets, merchants called out their wares: fresh bread, ripe fruit, fabrics from faraway lands, while street musicians played waltzes and minuets that danced lightly on the morning air. Among the elegant salons and candlelit parlors, music was not simply entertainment. It was the language of the city's soul. And in that world of aristocrats, soldiers, and artists, one man stood apart: Ludwig van Beethoven. At 41, he was already a towering figure in European music, a composer whose works stirred both the hearts of commoners and the imaginations of kings. Yet, behind the acclaim lay a life marked by hardship. His hearing, once sharp enough to catch the faintest note from across a crowded room, was fading into silence. The cruel irony of a deaf composer haunted him daily, turning each new work into a battle between inspiration and despair. His hair, wild, untamed, framed a face weathered by sleepless nights and restless thoughts. Those who knew him spoke of his intensity, a man quick to anger, but equally quick to weep over a melody that spoke to his soul. In Vienna's glittering drawing rooms, whispers followed him, not of scandal, but of something more dangerous for a man of his stature: an unspoken love. Few dared guess her name. Fewer still could imagine the depth of his feeling. It was a love bound not by the conventions of society, but by something deeper, something that defied time and place. And so, on that Monday morning in July 1812, far from the concert halls where his name was legend, Beethoven took up his pen. The world outside bustled with the ordinary rhythm of life, but in the quiet of his chamber, he began to pour into words the thoughts he could not speak aloud. His handwriting firm, deliberate, captured a part of him that even music could not fully express. This is his letter, a letter never sent, a letter that waited nearly 2 centuries to be heard.
Dawn in Teplitz, 1812. Misty streets, soft morning light, horse-drawn carriages in the distance. 6-7 July, 1812. My angel, my all, my very self. Only a few words today, and that too in pencil, with yours. Not until tomorrow is my lodging definitely fixed. What abominable waste of time in such things? Why this deep sorrow when necessity speaks? Can our love endure otherwise than through sacrifices, than by not demanding everything? Canst thou change it, that thou art not entirely mine, I not entirely thine? O God, look into beautiful nature and compose your mind to the inevitable. Love demands everything and is quite right. So it is for me with you, for you with me, but you forget so easily that I must live for you and for me. Were we wholly united, you would feel this painfulness as little as I. This morning, I came here at 4. Because of the lack of horses, my journey was terrible. You suffer, you, my dearest creature. I notice the thought of our separation makes me even more miserable than you. Just be calm, for calmness is the only thing we can achieve through our will. Whether we shall see each other soon or not, I can only resign myself to fate. Love demands everything, and rightly so. So be calm and love me. Today, yesterday, July 7 in the morning. Good morning again. Even in bed, my thoughts rush to you, my immortal beloved, here and there joyfully, then again sadly awaiting fate. I can only live, either altogether with you or not at all. I have decided to wander far away until I can fly into your arms and call myself quite at home with you. Enveloped in your love, my soul can be carried to the realm of spirits. Ever thine, ever mine, ever ours.
Ludwig van Beethoven, a man who began as a sensitive child in the small city of Bonn and rose to the very summit of the musical world, never had an easy path. Born into a modest family, with a strict and often harsh father, better known for his drinking than his parenting, Beethoven's musical genius began to shine like a hidden spark in his early years. His first years passed in Bonn, but his restless spirit carried him to Vienna, the beating heart of European music. There, he studied under masters like Haydn and Mozart, but soon broke free from imitation. Beethoven wrote music not simply to please the court, but to express everything that lived within his heart and mind. At the height of his creative power, fate struck a cruel blow: the onset of deafness. For a composer whose life was built upon sound, this illness was like the sun being extinguished. He sank into isolation, even to the brink of suicide, writing the famous Heiligenstadt Testament, confessing his despair. Yet he chose not to surrender. Instead, he transformed his suffering into music. In the years that followed, he produced masterpieces that reshaped the world of music. The Moonlight Sonata, the Eroica Symphony, a heroic tribute to the spirit of freedom, and the Ninth Symphony, the pinnacle of his belief in the unity of humankind. Its final movement, Ode to Joy, became an anthem for human freedom, a piece that today not only resounds at national celebrations, but also travels through space aboard the Voyager Golden Record as a message of peace to distant worlds. In his later years, illness, poverty, and solitude cast heavy shadows over his life. Yet his late string quartets were so innovative that even the next generation needed decades to grasp their depth. His home was modest, but within it lived a mind that was shifting the boundaries of music itself. In the winter of 1827, the cold of Vienna mingled with the chill of his failing body. Liver disease and pneumonia drained his strength. On March 26, a storm formed over Vienna. Witnesses say that as a bolt of lightning tore through the sky, Beethoven opened his eyes, raised his hand as if to conduct the final chord of his life, and then fell silent forever. His funeral was magnificent. Over 20,000 people, an enormous crowd for the time, filled the streets. Poets and musicians of renown spoke in his honor. The celebrated poet Franz Grillparzer declared, "He was a man full of human weaknesses, yet his genius made him immortal." Today, Beethoven is not confined to the concert hall. His music lives in films, in the triumphs and sorrows of nations, and even in the ears of astronauts journeying to the moon and beyond. He proved that even in absolute silence, one can make the whole world resound. Beethoven is gone, but the voices he forged from silence still beat in the heart of history and in the ears of us all.